Stepping to the fire, still learning what I've got. No perfect answers, just honest conversation. A question in the dark deserves a consolation. I'm here to help, not fix you, just walk beside. That's why Antonio the Ace answers. Antonio the Ace answers. Where the truth and compassion collide. Where the truth and compassion collide.
Today's question lands with the weight of a choice no one should have to make alone. My doctor wants to put me on benzos for anxiety, but I've heard the stories, the dependence, the fog, the withdrawal that feels worse than what brought me there. Is there another way that doesn't involve trading one problem for another? Or am I just supposed to accept this as the cost of managing my mind? I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything, and I'm not telling you to ignore medical advice. But I am someone who's navigated the pharmacy, the side effects, and the quiet panic of wondering if the cure might cost more than the disease. So let me share what the research says, and what lived experience whispers in the margins. Here's the landscape beyond the pill bottle. Yes, there are alternatives, plural, some pharmacological, some not. The question isn't just what works, it's what works for you, in your context, with your body's particular wiring. On the medication front, benzodiazepines aren't the only option, and for many, they're not even the best one. SSRIs and SNRIs are commonly used for anxiety and don't carry the same dependence risks. There's also buspirone, pregabalin, hydroxyzine. Emerging treatments like glutamate-targeted therapies and even ketamine are being explored for rapid relief. The pharmacological toolbox is wider than benzos, even if that's the first thing pulled out. But here's where I want to spend our time: the non-pharmacological strategies. Because if you're asking this question, you're likely looking for ways to manage anxiety that don't require a prescription pad at all. Let's talk about what the body knows. Start with sleep. Poor sleep quality is interwoven with anxiety. When you address sleep disturbances through CBT techniques, sleep hygiene, or creating a darker, quieter space, you're often addressing anxiety's root system, not just its branches. Cognitive behavioral therapy itself is a cornerstone that doesn't require a pill. CBT helps you modify the anxious thoughts and avoidance behaviors that keep the cycle spinning. It's structured, evidence-based, and can be delivered in self-guided formats when access to a therapist is limited. Then there's the body. Yoga lowers physiological arousal by shifting you from fight or flight into parasympathetic dominance, teaching your nervous system it's safe to stand down. Research shows improvements in both sleep and quality of life, suggesting yoga isn't just stretching, it's recalibrating your stress physiology. And if yoga isn't your speed, the menu's broad. Meditation, deep breathing, guided imagery, mindfulness training, biofeedback, even qigong. What's striking is that most people who find relief use two or more strategies in combination. It's about building a flexible toolkit. Here's a peer perspective. Non-pharmacological strategies require more active participation than swallowing a pill. They ask you to show up when you're exhausted. They ask you to breathe when your chest feels like it's caving in. That's not a flaw. That's the work. And the work, over time, builds something a benzodiazepine can't: agency. The sense that you're not just managing symptoms, but learning to navigate the weather systems of your own nervous system. Does that mean meds are off the table? No, for some, a combination approach, psychotherapy alongside carefully managed medication, is what makes survival possible. Research shows that even when benzodiazepines are present, psychotherapy outcomes don't suffer. It's about what constellation of support keeps you tethered. So, what comes next? Start with the accessible, scalable, low-cost strategies that give you room to experiment. Try one mind-body practice for 2 weeks. Work with a therapist on CBT techniques if you can. Prioritize your sleep like it's the foundation of a house, because it is. And if medication becomes part of the plan, make it an informed choice, not a default. Ask your doctor about non-benzodiazepine options. Ask about timelines, side effects, and exit strategies. You're not being difficult. You're being an active participant in your own care. The alternative to benzos isn't one thing. It's a landscape. And you get to chart the route. Anxiety wants you to believe the only way out is through a gate you can't trust. But the research and the lived experience of thousands who've walked this road says otherwise. There are other gates. Some are slower. Some require more from you. But they're there. Unmarked trails leading to steadier ground. You're not stuck. You're standing at a crossroads with more paths than you've been told about. Choose the one that lets you keep your agency and your breath.